This is video number 22 in the Book 2 series for viola. So for this video, we're going to be learning to play high 3 on the C string. So I need you to open up to page number 14 in your Essential Elements Book 2. And the high 3, we've done high 3 on the G string. It took C and made C a C sharp. Then we did it on the D string, and that took a G and made it a G sharp. Well, what this is going to do is take an F, this is F in case you forgot, it's been a while, and make it an F sharp. Now this note gets used in a lot of key signatures. Anytime you have even just one sharp, for example, G major. You've been playing in G major for a long time. You haven't had to do this yet because the songs you've played have avoided this note because then you didn't know it yet, okay? So F becomes F sharp. Now is this going to be easy here? Yes, because you understand what to do because you've already done the high 3s. However, it's going to be harder on your hand and harder to get in tune because it's your lowest string. So things you can do, make sure your instrument's over on your shoulder, it's not over in front of you here, and your elbows in, and you're stretching and pressing in really hard, okay? If you have not tuned your instrument really well, I need you to stop this video and tune your instrument before you try to continue because I need you to have your tuner on, and we're gonna play on the C string 4 F sharps using your tuner. Echo me. And go. F sharp, high 3, F sharp. Okay, now do 2 F sharps and 2 E's. Hopefully remember that E is second finger. F sharp and E. F sharp, E, E. Now do F sharp and then D. D, of course, is first finger. F sharp and D. F sharp, first finger, D, D. Now do 2 F sharps and you guessed it, 2 G's, fourth finger, not open G, squeeze it in, F sharp and G. Squeeze it in. F sharp, G, G. Now if you are putting your third finger where you think it's supposed to go and it sounds fuzzy, press in harder. If you think it's in the right place and it sounds flat, press in harder, okay? Because you can be in the right place and still be out of tune on a low string if you're not pressing in hard enough. It'll make it sound flat or low, flat's too low, and it'll make it sound fuzzy. So if you think you're right, it's like, oh, my tape's sharp, I'm almost on my tape and it still says it's too low. Well, first of all, make sure it says F sharp, okay, and not G in there. Maybe you have gone too high, but most likely if you're halfway in there, you're probably in the right place. You're just not pressing in hard enough. And you got to use an unbelievable amount of strength to get that with a good tone and in tune. Okay, go on to 57 and let's shadow bow, especially because you haven't played on your C string very much recently and you might have forgotten some of the notes. So shadow bow 57, that first note is an F sharp. Now they did choose to go ahead and use a key signature. So you see that there are 2 sharps there. That's D major. Even if there was only 1 sharp, you'd still have to do a high 3. Because even just 1 sharp, that means all Fs everywhere in the instrument are sharp, okay? So shadow bow, 57, high 3 to start. 1, 2, shadow bow, go. High 3s, F sharps. F sharp, now second finger for E. Now D, first finger. 3, take, 4, take, off. If you struggled with that, with the reading of the notes, probably go back to book 1 and review your C string notes before you try this again, okay? And if you think you're ready for it, then play with me. 57, 1, 2, ready, say, and go. F sharps, get it in tune, get a good tone. F sharp, now E is next. 3, take, 4, take, off. Okay? Go on to 58. And again, if you're struggling with reading the C string notes, review that before you try this. So 58, the key signature says all Fs are sharp and all Cs are sharp. So high 3. If you went to the G string in this particular song, guess what? You'd have to do a high 3 there also. Why? Because all Fs are sharp, all Cs are sharp. This is a C. If you went to the D, you would still do a regular 3 because there are not G sharps. The key signature tells us all Fs are sharp, all Cs are sharp, but everything else is natural. Okay, shadow bow 58. If you don't know, your first note's a D, 1 finger. 1, 2, 58, shadow bow. Now 58, and go. D, E. Stretch F sharp, that's E. Now fourth finger, G, F sharp, squeeze it in. Off. Another thing that could be affecting your tone, maybe you're like, I'm pressing in super hard, how is it still sounding bad? Remember on the C string, use more weight here, but less bow, okay? So the sounding airy, it could be a bow problem. It's not always necessarily left hand. That's just more likely for you at this point. Okay, going to 59, and shadow bow, 1, 2, 59, shadow bow. Let's press that 4, F sharp again. 1, 2, 3, off. And these are all in D major on this page, so you're going to have to do a high 3 on the C string and on the G string for every single one of these. Play that with me now. 59, 1, 2, 59, and go. D. Now stretch F sharp. Now E. Now fourth finger. Now high 3 F sharp. Now D. E. Off. All right. Okay, going on number 16, you're like, oh, D major scale, easy. That's something I've been playing forever and ever. Well, you've been playing the easy D major scale. This is a more difficult one. However, you'll notice it's just like A major, but 1 string lower. Okay, that's all it is. Just like A major, 1 string lower. Now, that's the good news. The bad news is it's just like A major, 1 string lower. You've got to do high 3s, and you also have to press in really hard with those, stretching those high 3s. Okay. Here we go. Go ahead and shadow bow it though. 60, shadow bow, and 1, 2, right, say, and go. D, E. Now F sharp, stretch it up. Open G. E. E. Now C sharp, high 3. High 3. Now squeeze the 4 in. Come back to high 3. Now B. A. G. Now get ready. Bring the elbow around. High 3 for F sharp. Now 4 counts. 1, tay, 2, tay, 3, tay, 4, tay, off. Okay? You should know what that should sound like. It's just going to be hard to get it in tune with a good tone. It's all about strength here. Less bow, more weight here. 1, 2, play with me, 60, and go. D, E. Now stretch that high 3 and press it hard. Open G. Okay. Now B. C sharp, stretch it up. Now squeeze in. Back to C sharp. Elbow around, stretch up. 1, tay, 2, tay, 3, tay, 4, tay, off. Okay? So I know you might think a D major is supposed to be an easy scale. Well, there is an easy octave and a difficult octave. That's the more difficult one, clearly. Okay? Are there more octaves, meaning higher or lower? There's not any lower than that, but there is another octave up here that eventually one day you'll learn. Okay, go on. Now we have a little bit longer song now. Number 61, and again, it's in D major. So this whole page is in D major. So even though it doesn't have like a sharp sign next to the F, you have to play F sharp on the C string, high 3, okay? This song might sound familiar to you. Shadow bow from the beginning, and 1, 2, shadow bow, go. High 3, don't forget high 3. High 3 again. Now, if you struggle with your reading your C string notes, you probably had a hard time with that. The only thing to do there is just practice it slowly. Okay, you can go back and review C string stuff, but you got to also add that you got high 3s in here. So it's gonna be tricky if you don't know your C string stuff. Try playing it with me now if you're ready. If not, review and then join me when you're ready. 1, 2, ready, and go. High 3. That's probably going to take some practice because you got C string, G string stuff, which you're not really familiar with, and high 3s, okay, over in your lower strings. Practice till it sounds good, good tuning, and good tone.